welcome back to my case studies. Already talked about, it's one of my hobbies to write stories. It's just a hobby, so I'm not making lots of money with it, but I thought it would be interesting to make videos here and there about the hobby and what I do to publish these books. Here I've already uploaded the German version and then I translate it and I publish an English version. I've done that with my first book here. I'll just do it with my newest one, and you can follow along if you want to upload your own Kindle book to KDP. It's Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Just type in KDP into Google and you should find it easily. When you want to publish a book, just click on Create, then select Kindle ebook. And this is what it usually looks like, at least for now. We need a book title. In my case, it's World War IV. We don't have a subtitle. Language is English. Not part of series. Edition number, we don't need that. But we need the author name. Contributors, don't get that mixed up. It's only if there are additional people to the author, you can add that here. So if you have multiple authors, something like this, maybe a photographer, you can add it here. The description, this is the book blurb. Already written that for my German version, so I only translate it and then I paste the translation right here. It's a simple text editor. In the old days, you actually had to paste HTML tags to have it styled, but now you can at least make it bold, italic, underlined, use a different format here and there, and even add lists, bullet points. But from my experience, keep it simple here, keep it short. Most people don't read these 1,000, 2,000 words book blurbs, so make it like 200 words. It should be the upper limit for most, especially when it's fiction. Maybe you want to add some quotes if you've got real quotes. So someone has said that your book is really good. You can add that here as well. Once that is done, we go to publishing rights. For most cases, you have to check that you own the copyright. So if you've written it yourself, there's also public domain work. If you mess around with that, just check the other box or this other radio button. Primary audience. In my case, it's not sexually explicit and reading age is optional, so I leave that aside. Primary marketplace. For English books, I use Amazon.com. For my German, Amazon.de. And now categories, you can pick 3. And it's a good idea to always pick 3 so that your book gets ranked in all 3 categories. And this gives a little bit more exposure to your books. So the more categories you can place it in, the better. And it's also better for the algorithm to categorize the book and relate it to specific search keywords. In my case, I use science fiction. Let me use dystopian, adventure in general. And then we can add 7 keywords. When you add yours, just think about what a potential reader would type into Amazon search to find your book. In my case, it's dystopian. Maybe someone would also search for utopian, sci-fi, sci-fi stories, dystopian novel, utopian novel, and sci-fi novel. Maybe something like this. I'm ready to release my book and we're good with the first page, so save and continue. And here you can now upload your manuscript. I've written it using Microsoft Word, so it's a docs file, and this is usually fine. A couple of years ago it was a little bit of a problem when it comes to formatting, but now this KDP file processor does a good job at using docs and turning it into these EPUB files, I believe, is the Kindle file type. Now I'll upload a cover. In this case, you have to be careful. You need a JPEG or a TIFF. Usually it's a JPEG, what you've got. PNGs, it doesn't work. So when you've got a PNG, you have to convert it to JPEG. There are free versions available online. Just search for JPEG converter, something like this. You should easily find it. If you don't have that, you can even use the cover creator. But I would advise you to create your own book cover or even pay someone to create a good book cover. But even though the saying goes, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, it's always judged by the cover. So if you have a good book cover, it sells well. If you don't, it sells worse. This is fairly new. I believe 3 or 4 months ago they introduced it. It's for AI generated content. In my case, I haven't written a text using AI, but I have used AI for the cover image. I've used Midjourney. No translation using AI. And then we've got it here. There's also a new box for digital rights management. I leave that unchecked. If you hover over learn more, you can read. It's going to protect your rights a little bit more. But if you check it, it might be an issue when people want to share your work. And I want them to share it. So the bigger the audience that I can find, the better. So I'll leave it unchecked. Depending on the language that you use, you also have possible or potential typos here. So spelling issues and stuff. I have that in the German version under manuscript. But when you upload your English version, it's actually not here in this manuscript box. Instead, it's down here at the Kindle ebook previewer category. So here it gets processed. And when it is, it's going to show you there might be, I don't know, let's say 20 spelling errors or something. So you can check them there. And we have 6 in my case. You can fix them in the English version. When you launch the previewer, in the other versions, you'll have to click on the link under manuscript. Once again, that depends on the language that you use. But here for English, we have these 6 quality issues, the spelling errors actually pointed out by the previewer. We can jump to that specific section. In my case, all of these make sense. So they're not actually errors, so I can ignore them all easily. Then we're good here. It's a good idea to have a table of contents, even if it's just these hyperlinks for your Kindle book. Let me quickly jump to the last page to check if it uploaded the entire manuscript. So go to the last position. And here's the end of the story. Everything's fine with the formatting. As I've said, docs files are usually processed quite well these days by KDP. But we should be good here. You don't need to add anything here for ISBN if this is the first time you're uploading this book to KDP. If you've uploaded it elsewhere, you might have an ISBN. But if you're a total beginner and it's the first time that you're uploading your book anywhere, then don't worry about the section. Just save and continue. It's just important that we don't have any image errors, formatting errors, spelling errors. And then your book should get approved. But we have one more final page to check, and this is about the pricing. I want to have it enrolled in KDP Select, which is this Amazon program. It allows you to run ads for your book on Amazon. And it also makes this book available to people who have, I believe it's called KDP Unlimited, something like this, or Kindle Unlimited. It might actually be Kindle Unlimited, sorry. So Kindle Unlimited for readers, where you pay like $20 a month. I don't know what it is, but then you can read books for free. Basically, you don't really buy them, but you can still read them as long as you pay your monthly fee. And then the author gets a cut of that. In this case, I want to have it, so check the box for enroll it. But be careful, if you check that, you can't upload your ebook anywhere else. So if you want to put it on a different platform, then don't check this box. All territories, I want this checked. Primary marketplace, we've set that to .com. And your pricing, 70% means that you have to be in a price range of $2.99 to $9.99. And 35% is for everything else. So if you make it, for example, 99 cents, you can only earn 35% of royalties. And if you make it more expensive than $9.99, it's also only 35%. For most people, 70% is fine. And then I set it to the lowest of $2.99. And this gives me royalties of $2.06. I think that's a fair price, especially for a hobby author like me. I've done everything myself. Therefore, I don't have any costs, except for my time, obviously. But I like to adjust all of the prices in the different currencies to a 99 or 49 ending. So for example, Australian, I set it to 449, and Japanese also 449. I think that's a more common price, at least it should be in these countries. But then we're good, we click on publish, and if everything was correct, we'll get this message. It's going to take up to 70 hours for the guys in the back end to check your book and then make it available on Amazon. I hope this video was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.